I like to think of that moment when I wake up in the morning as a moment filled with positivity, opportunity, possibility. It seems to be some positive outlook of the day ahead. But usually that only lasts as long as my thinking starts or the first thoughts appear. And then my mind starts telling me that there's a lot of unfinished work, that there are many tasks that I should still complete, that there are decisions that I need to take. Maybe there are emails or messages that I haven't responded to in a long time and I should finally take care of those. And that's when my mood starts to turn sour. And I find that such an interesting observation. This is something that I especially observed during the many years, almost 20 years that I spent in my corporate career. I would get up in the morning and be really excited about my role, about the work. But it just took a few moments for these thoughts to appear. And then I started my day in a stressed mood. I started thinking that it's impossible to finish everything, that I'm not good enough. I even started believing that early in the morning that I needed to increase my productivity or become more efficient. Or maybe I would just need to take a course or watch a productivity hack on YouTube, and that would solve all my problems. I thought about things such as the Pomodoro technique or the Eisenhower matrix. But the problem is with these productivity tools and tricks that even those take so much time to implement. And that sense of being stressed stayed with me for many years. And it especially increased after a moment of waking up and then also when I was commuting to work. Because the problem was that when I commuted to work, I would start checking my emails. And that just added the pressure and stress on me for absolutely no reason, as I've come to find out. I tried everything. I tried working out a lot. I tried going on walks, which is all great and helps decrease that sense of stress and makes you feel better. But I also tried to meditate for many years, almost every day, because I was looking for that sense of calm. And looking for that sense of calm became like a chase. But I thought that I could reach it at some point. So I kept on chasing. And then that suddenly turns into this elusive good future. This belief that if I just achieve X, Y, Z, say tomorrow, then I can be happy. If I just complete this task, then I can feel relaxed. It's always that good future that never seems to be with you now. And the problem with this elusive good future is also that it keeps on moving. If you believe that it's going to happen tomorrow, then tomorrow you will find out that it's still not there, but it's happening with it tomorrow, as of tomorrow. So it's a non-stop chase. So what can you do? To me, this concept of non-duality just seemed to appear out of the blue, which is probably not true. It had a lot to do with curiosity about how life works, how the universe works. And I always had this nagging sense that it just can't be the case that we are so detached from nature. And I even believe that everything that's happening around us that's really going badly, like the state of the environment or wars, has a lot to do with the fact that we think of ourselves so highly and we think that we are something so unique, so different to everything else that we can't possibly be the same. Once I dug a bit deeper into concepts of philosophy, I started seeing that maybe everything just is really interconnected. Maybe everything just is one. Maybe we are all made of stars, as it says so nicely. I think in a song, or was it someone intelligent that said that? I can't remember. And the moment I recognized that was also the moment when I started seeing that this so-called good future is not something to be chased, but it's just something to be seen this very moment, if in a way you just open your eyes. And to give you a very good example on how I managed to achieve that is exactly this topic of my thoughts in the morning. Instead of getting completely lost and identifying myself with all this negative self-talk, negative thoughts about the state of the world, the state of my work, deadlines, overwhelm, I started looking at these thoughts as the literal black clouds on a sunny day, a cloud that just appears but also disappears, and there is nothing that you can do about it. And it might annoy you, but there is definitely no way you should get angry about something that you cannot influence. And that just clicked with me. I was thinking, well, why not look at the thoughts the same way? Thoughts that just come up in the morning without me actively driving this thinking process. Maybe they are all just concepts and ideas that aren't necessarily true. And yes, I'm no psychologist, so I cannot explain this process, also don't want to do it, but I just want to tell you from my experience. And the moment I started seeing these thoughts as concepts, ideas that just float around, I also started treating them with less seriousness. And the effect that this had on me was one of being able to simply feel more calm throughout my day. When I wake up now in the morning, I know that it's going to be a good day. I know that opportunities lies ahead. I know that good things are going to happen. I just have this sense of inert motivation and drive in me that I just never felt before. That's simply due to the fact that I nowadays look at my thoughts like a cloud that appears and then disappears again, and not necessarily a thought that I consciously decided to think. And it makes all the difference to me. It goes so far that if ever a problem arises, I can actually look at that said problem as holding it in my hands and then thinking about the solution to this problem, instead of being completely caught up and completely identifying myself with these problems or with these negative thoughts. If this is possible for me, it's just as possible for you too. Because imagine the way you could live your life if you weren't caught up in your thoughts, if you weren't caught up in negative self-talk, if you weren't caught up in doubts about your capabilities, about who you are as a person, about what you are able to do every day in your life, really. And yeah, if you're interested in topics like these, please subscribe to this channel. It would mean a lot to me. It's still really new, so I'm just building up my community here. I will continue sharing from my experience, but also sharing ways you can maybe find the same sense of calm or also agency in your life.